cannot believe a pipe burst and left that there.
There's no burst pipe.
How do you know that? What is it then?
Hey guys, somebody making soup?
Television and comedy might just be the best combo of all time. Because whether you're sacked out on the couch after a long day or catching up on the latest episode with your loved ones, nothing beats a good laugh. But these days, televised comedy often comes with a fair share of baggage. Emotionally charged, overtly subversive, and sometimes shockingly violent, this current wave of modern programming feels downright serious. So what exactly happened to the laugh tracks and easygoing sitcoms of yesteryear?
That's funny!
That's weird because the situation really isn't funny.
I know, but the laughing tells me that it's funny.
They have timing, man. They have timing for sure.
For 75 years and running, the Emmy Awards have served to honor the achievements of television's brightest stars. And as testament to humor's importance on the small screen, the Academy of Television Arts created a comedy-specific Emmys category within 4 years of its inception. With such long-standing critiques of televised humor and the universal appeal of comedy, you might assume television arts voters could do no wrong. But in fact, the Primetime Emmy Award for Best Comedy Series has become the most controversial category in the Academy's history. And while it is easy to pass the blame on Emmy voters, the treble nominee lists speak more to the sorry state of television comedies at large. When the Academy released its list of nominees for the 2024 Outstanding Comedy Award, it was impossible not to notice some major changes. Of the 8 televised comedies nominated, one show stood out like a sore thumb. Because in a sea of profanity-laden HBO shows, genre-based anomalies, and impassioned social statements, only one sitcom remained.
Abbott Elementary, make some noise!
Yes.
The sitcom, or situational comedy, is a specific genre that relies on a set location and a reoccurring cast of characters. Unlike the frantic nature of sketch comedies, sitcoms offer audiences a chance to relate to laughable characters and familiar settings. And although the first televised sitcom, 1946's Pinwright's Progress, was produced across the pond, American sitcoms came to prominence shortly after. Abbott Elementary might not feature a laugh track, but in today's world of heavy-handed humorists and grim grinning gangsters, the ABC mockumentary is as old school as it gets. Show creator and star Quinta Brunson's characterization of an underfunded school in a major metro isn't without its tough moments, but opposed to the anxiety-riddled dramatics of The Bear, Abbott Elementary feels utterly quaint.
Oh, you work at the school district?
Yeah.
Oh, you know that these schools are criminally underfunded.
Yeah. I'm working on it. Let's just take the picture.
Okay.
Prior to the Emmys' most recent spat of serious situationals, easygoing sitcoms like Abbott Elementary reigned supreme. Throughout the 1950s, I Love Lucy dominated the category with double wins and multiple nominations. Then in the 60s, Bob Newhart, Andy Griffith, and Dick Van Dyke stole the silver sets. By the 70s, Mary Tyler Moore and All in the Family had taken the lead, and through the 80s and 90s, and up in the aughts, the American sitcom seemed unstoppable.
USA! USA! USA!
It's easy to look at the 2024 Emmy nominations as a sign of drastic change, but in fact, this onslaught of dark TV comedies has been more of like a slow trickle of gallows humor and poignant tales. As mentioned, All in the Family was a major force in 1970s TV comedies. In fact, it was nominated for an Emmy every year of its 9-season run. Ultimately winning 4 of those awards, All in the Family was a hilarious classic sitcom, complete with the then requisite laugh track.
May I know what we're having for supper tonight?
Nothing.
But lurking beneath the one-liners and celebrated cast of the Bunker household, some truly edgy material was at hand, with plot lines centered on topics ranging from racism, the Vietnam War, and differing lifestyles. All in the Family spoke directly to an audience grappling with these same challenges. It is impossible to fairly compare a decades-old sitcom like All in the Family to a modern comedy like Abbott Elementary. But subject matter and societal norms aside, you can see a through line from one to the next in terms of what audiences expect from their televised comedy. Laughter with a heartbeat.
Oh my God, what did he just say to you? That if you don't do well, you're gonna get fired?
Worse. He mumbled and I didn't hear it.
And when we look back on the staying power of All in the Family, that serious streak so common today is highly evident. Take for example the 8th season 2-part special, Edith's 50th Birthday, in which the Bunker family faces a truly devastating crime. These highly acclaimed episodes serve as a reminder that All in the Family pushed the envelope in ways that we're still reckoning with today, and it leads one to wonder if even a bright spot like Abbott Elementary can go the same distance. Because how do you grapple with dark nature of humanity while still being, well, funny?
Did you hear this over here? Draft dodger, fugitive from justice, you know? FBI. How'd you like the FBI to come and have dinner with you here?
I
Oh, Archie, we ain't got enough turkey.
Also dealing with mature concepts in the yesteryear of sitcoms, MASH revolutionized TV. Featuring a Korean War setting and a cast of kooky field medics, the CBS comedy was a major hit with audiences and the Academy alike. In its accomplished 11-year run, MASH received a staggering amount of nominations and 14 wins. And for a show that relied on extremely heavy themes, it seemed audiences craved intensity. But looking ahead to the winners and nominees of today, it's clear that if anything has changed for the worse, it's that classic sense of restraint. When you take a show like MASH, set it in a war-torn community, themes like loss and untimely death are a given, and MASH handles those themes with the care and grace of a surgeon.
War isn't hell. War is war and hell is hell, and of the two, war is a lot worse.
As if to say, we know you came here for laughs, so we'll save the grisly stuff for off-screen. 2024 Emmy comedy winner Hacks, on the other hand, chose to handle its heavy scenes, well, a little differently. Set in the world of stand-up comedy and the inner lives of celebrities, often oversteps into harsher vibes. It's easy to replace the grim truths of life with shock and awe, and as writers grow up on adult-minded content like MASH, the lines between comedy and violence seem to blur. But Hacks is certainly no exception to the sensational nature of modern television. Though there have always been campy and ridiculous Emmy nominees, What We Do in the Shadows takes the cake. With a similar mockumentary sitcom vibe to Abbott Elementary, What We Do in the Shadows brings subversion to drastic heights.
He's my pal. He's my homeboy, my rotten soldier. He's my sweet cheese, my good time boy.
And while critically lauded comedies of the supernatural persuasion have long existed, just take a peek at 1968 Emmy nominee The Ghost of Mrs. Muir. What We Do in the Shadows' bloodline flows firmly in the veins of horror. Just a few decades ago, sitcom mockumentaries like Abbott and Shadows completely took over the Emmys. Beginning with an American take on BBC's The Office, NBC were pioneers in the burgeoning genre. The network soon followed up on their Emmy-winning series with Parks and Recreation, another critical darling. HBO even took a swing at this new breed of workplace comedies with the multiple Emmy-winning Veep.
Sue, did the president call? No.
And although the exploits of its familiar sitcom star are adult and highly political in nature, Veep honored the comedy comes first formula of its predecessors.
Well, go yourself, long, tall Sally.
But none of these faux doc comedy series came close to the righteous rule from competitor ABC, because when Modern Family hit the scene, both the Academy and viewers had found their new critical darling. With 5 consecutive wins, Modern Family remains tied with Frasier for the most Emmys in the comedy category. But eventually, the tides began to turn. In the midst of the sitcom mockumentary award blitz, a new strain of televised comedy began to appear. With the emergence of streamers like Netflix and Amazon Prime, starkly adult comedies became a fascination for subscribers. With high ratings and an emphasis on emotional cores, shows like Orange is the New Black, Master of None, and Transparent started receiving Emmy nods almost immediately. But it was perhaps in 2018 that televised comedy truly took a major plunge into uncharted waters. Nominees like Blackish, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, Curb Your Enthusiasm, and even Silicon Valley bore striking resemblance to Emmy nods of old. But the high-flying drama of Glow, the stylish realities of Atlanta, and the extreme violence of Barry were an entirely new reality. Ultimately, Amazon Prime's The Marvelous Miss Maisel took home the prize in 2018, but even this semi-biographical take on the life of a comedian served more drama than laughs. And those dramatics are certainly not without precedent in the world of televised comedy. Long before The Big Bang Theory became the last award-winning comedy series with a laugh track, The Wonder Years charmed voters and viewers with a muted, realistic approach to coming-of-age stories. Although it is highly stylized and cerebral, 2024's Reservation Dogs might be the closest analog to emotionally punctuated comedies like The Wonder Years. It's far too surreal and pointed to serve as any real reminder of dramedies past. While it is true that bona fide comedy shows like Curb Your Enthusiasm still court the Emmys on occasion, TV's gang of most outrageous cut-ups have been left out in the cold for over a decade. As the longest-running sitcom in American history, It's Always Sunny has provided more laughs and garnered more fans than most shows could ever dream of. But with 0 Emmy nominations and running, it's even more canon to the show's lore.
I mean, I guess it is us. after all, you know? It's us.
Right, it's us.
Screw them. You know why? Because I like us.
We can always hold out hope that It's Always Sunny receives its dues one day, and award nominations for the recently deceased Curb Your Enthusiasm are a kind gesture toward genuine comedy, but these low-drama highlights are legacy shows developed during the prime of network sitcoms, a time that seems long behind us. At this point, many are left to wonder what it takes to get an out-and-out comedy developed for television. But perhaps the real issue lies in an evolution of taste. Standardized sitcoms do still exist, but it seems we have moved past their simple pleasures. Laugh tracks are still laid down beside reboots and revamps of classic sitcoms, but who's really thinking about them? Maybe the writer's room of modern comedy aren't seeking the same audience as a Frasier or a Seinfeld. And to prospective Emmy voters, there is perhaps a desire to showcase stories that contain quality narratives over incessant jokes. With more high-profile TV dramas than ever, maybe we've just run out of places to put lightly funny, super serious programs. Whatever the reason for the decline of lauded TV comedies, one thing is crystal clear. Audiences miss the laughs. And whether through the retro gaze of a standardized sitcom or some new hybridized genre, we all hope for the return of a good old-fashioned joke.
I really wanted an award, though.
I was dying for one.
Ah, it was so nice.
Would have meant a lot.
That's it for this week's episode. What do you think? Have we abandoned the sitcom for good? Or will another Modern Family rise from the ashes? Let us know in the comments, and as always, be sure to subscribe below to keep up with all our Nerdstalgic videos.